Can you explain how there can be a cause without time? Because you keep on saying that God exists outside of space and time, or perhaps existed before space and time. How can...
Right. All right. This gets into profound issues in the philosophy of time. Prior to my work on God and abstract objects, I spent 11 years studying the subject of divine eternity and God's relationship to time. 6 books flowed out of that study. And I would refer you to those works if you're interested in this question, particularly the book Time and Eternity, which is published by Crossway. But let me give you my nutshell answer. My view is that God existing alone without the universe is timeless, but that with the creation of the universe, he enters into time and therefore is temporal from the moment of creation on. So I would agree with you that God's causing the universe to exist is a temporal act, and that with the creation of the universe, God becomes temporal. So my studied view is that God is timeless without the universe, without creation, but in time since the moment of creation. It is difficult. It's a strange view. It's a strange view, but I have yet to see any good objection to it. It seems to me to be quite coherent. God existing alone, changelessly, is timeless. With the creation of the universe, the creation of the first moment of time, God's act of creation is simultaneous with the creation's coming into being. What else could it be? There couldn't be a time gap. So his act of creating the world is simultaneous with the world's coming into being. And so God enters into time at the moment of creation. Okay, the question was, if God is changeless without creation, how did he change to create time? Notice how I worded it. I was careful. Philosophers are careful about how they use words. I did not say that God was unchangeable. I said that he was changeless. I think that God is changeable, but without creation, he's changeless, and then he creates the world, and I think God is now changing. He's changing in his knowledge constantly as time goes on. He knows it's now 10 to 11 Pacific Standard Time. In another moment, he'll know it's 9 to 11. Then he'll know it's 8 to 11. And so his knowledge is constantly turning over as new propositions become true and true propositions become false. And I would say that God is really related to changing things, and so is changing in his relations with things. So I would say that while God is immutable in his nature, in his essential properties, his omniscience, omnipotence, holiness, eternity, and so forth, nevertheless, God can change in these trivial, contingent ways, and that he begins to do so at the moment of creation.